everybody, welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books you can pre-order by this weekend. That way, you're guaranteed not to miss out on any of the awesome comic goodness.
Comics, yep.
I love good comics. Comic goodness that will be releasing in a few weeks. So your pre-orders are due Sunday by 9 o'clock. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now where you can start placing those pre-orders. And you'll definitely want to do it because some of these books are going to sell out real fast. Mm-hmm. Some really awesome books on this week's docket of things. So let's get into it because I am very excited for our first one, which is Invincible Universe Battle Beast number 3. So Matt and I got to read Battle Beast number 1 and 2 months ago.
A couple months back, yeah.
So we've had to wait even longer from the end of 2 to number 3, and I cannot wait to see what happens next in Battle Beast.
And speaking of books that are going to sell out, you're going to want to pre-order this because this will sell out for sure.
Yeah, this is only getting bigger as more people learn about it and check out the reprints of number 1 and number 2. So, not a whole lot of information about this one, of course. It's by Robert Kirkman, Ryan Ottley. And it just says, who would dare betray Battle Beast? If you read number 2, you kind of know who. They're not too shy about it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's somebody else. And we know that he is headed to Prince Salaka's home planet. They just had to make a little detour in number 2. It looks like by number 4, they do get there. But some stuff is going to happen along the way that you're going to have to read to find out. Because it looks like Battle Beast is lost in space.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, is that space? It is space. For some reason, I was thinking
it was pavement?
Like it was like on a magma, and that's like lava all around him or something. You know.
Oh no, that's him bloody and floating in space.
That I see it now. I don't know. I thought he was like laying on a.
See, now that you say that, I can't imagine it that way. So we've got our A cover here by Ryan Ottley, and we have a David Nakayama cover for our B cover, which is awesome.
That's the one I'm going to get for sure. All right, so next up we have one that I'm really excited about. This is Ghost Pepper. This is the first issue of a new series from Image. This is written and drawn by Ludo Lullaby, who is an amazing artist. If you read the Transformers number 19, which was kind of the Megatron sort of one-and-done story for just a couple months back, he did the artwork in that. He's done some work on Battle Chasers before and some other things, and this looks great, and the story's great too. Andy and I got a chance to read a preview of this a while back, and it's really good. So this is set in kind of a post-apocalyptic, dystopian kind of future. Humanity has survived a monstrous threat, but the world isn't better for everyone. I mean, the world seems pretty depressing, actually. And this is about a woman you can see on the cover. Her name is Loloy. She hits the road to deliver her delicious cooking to the masses. It's almost like a post-apocalyptic food truck that she drives around in is what she's doing. She's trying to outsmart her competition and staying one step ahead of the massive robots that are protecting everyone, although we see in this first issue that they aren't there doing good things, protecting people. They're kind of like getting everybody's faces. Everything changes when she serves a mysterious warrior named Ash, and you can see him on the cover there, whose secrets might just save the world if his superhuman strength doesn't destroy it first. And we do get a glimpse of that as he takes on some of these robots that are protecting everybody, but not really. We see him get into a skirmish with them. And so this is one of those books where this looks a lot like a manga.
Yeah.
You know, I could see this being like an anime. And this kind of reminded me of a manga or an anime where the very first episode introduces you to your main characters. You see some acts of not superheroics, but like you see him, Ash, take out some robots. And there's also like a cut to a little other scene where something mysterious with him is happening, but you don't know what it is or what it means or what it's referring to, but you know it has a larger place in the story, that kind of thing. It's a lot like that. It's really, really good, though, and I love the artwork in it, so I cannot wait to read this. Our copy was a little bit low res, so I'm excited to read this in a physical form. But I highly, highly recommend this if you're looking for something fresh, something new, something that looks great and has some awesome action. This is definitely the book to get.
I like the mix of like post-apocalyptic and food related.
That's right, yeah,
story.
because this is like it's not like there's one panel of her cooking. Like that's kind of a factor in it is the food. So it's really, really cool. It's well done. So and that little guy down there sitting next to Ash, he rides around on his shoulder
Mm.
a lot too. So I don't really know a lot about him yet, but we'll learn more. So I really enjoyed this one a lot.
He's got kind of a mouser mouth
Yeah,
from
kind of.
Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
yeah. So this is our A cover. That's Ludo Lullaby. Ludo Lullaby. So that's what the interior looks like. Then we have an art germ cover, and then we have a blank sketch variant also. Very, very good book.
Yeah, and it's Skybound, and
Yep.
we've talked about it before. Skybound means quality.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I'm very excited about that.
Hmm.
Next up, we have a new Star Wars miniseries. This is Star Wars Hyperspace Stories Tides of Terror, #1. This is going to be a 4-issue miniseries. I think this sounds like a lot of fun. This is by George Mann, who's written a ton of Star Wars stuff, and Luis Morocho is doing the art. And in this, we follow Kit Fisto, who has been sent to a planet, Torbus, an ocean planet, along with Mace Windu and Shaak Ti, to investigate a controversial underwater research facility. But when disaster strikes, it goes from a diplomatic mission to a rescue mission, as Kit Fisto and the other Jedi must race against the clock to save innocent lives from the hungry leviathans that circle the depths. You can kind of see one there. So just a really fun, if you're wanting another Star Wars book that's set during the prequel era and Jedi focused and all of that, this is going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, 4 issue miniseries. So this is your A cover. There's a Pious Back variant with Kit Fisto, and there's an Edmund Gallman variant.
And next up is EC's Catacomb of Torment, and I'm really excited about this because this is a new ongoing horror anthology series from EC that's kind of rising out of the ashes of Epitaphs from the Abyss. So it's the same kind of deal as Epitaphs from the Abyss, 3 or 4 different little one and done horror stories. But whereas that was a 12-issue series, this one is going to be ongoing, and we have a new a new host in this book called the Tormentor. It's a new horror host with an unhealthy interest in human anatomy. So that sounds really gross. And there's 3 stories from creators like John Arcudi, Marguerite Bennett, Matt Kent, Patrick Piazzalungo, David Lapham, and Dan McDade. So I don't really know what the stories are going to be, but if you've read any of the Epitaphs from the Abyss books, you know what you're in for. Plus, this has an added bonus, a surprise classic from the EC vaults that has been remastered and restored to its original coloring. So I always like to read those old EC horror books because those things, even though they're 70 something years old, those things still hold up. So I'm really excited for this. I love horror anthologies, and EC does it better than anyone. So this is our A cover. There's a Tom Fowler variant. There is a Jorge Fornes gold foil variant. So that's the A cover, but just in foil. And then there's a blank sketch variant.
Well, next up we have another fun horror adjacent book. This is Dread the Hall H. This is going to be a one-shot. And if you remember the Dread the Halls, the Christmas one-shot that came out this last holiday season, you kind of get the idea behind this. But this is also by Chris Ryle, Jordan Hart, and a whole host of artists. And it's a book celebrating con season, which is we're coming up on with
Heroes Con's right now. So yeah, we're already there.
Here, San Diego, all of that. And this is going to be telling convention-related horror stories. So I like how it says that it's convention-related horror stories. These could be true or not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not zombies, but I know plenty of horror con stories that people have told me over the years.
They all come home with con crud.
Oh man, yeah, that's what happens with
Right.
con crud. That's
Yeah,
what you feel
that's
like.
that's a
anyways.
realistic portrayal of con crud.
But it just sounds really fun. It says the perfect book to read as you walk into a convention hall. So I feel like this is really good if you attend a lot of conventions. I'm sure it's going to be playing off of a lot of the tropes and the feel and everything. So I'm really excited about this. I've been to plenty. Yeah, and I believe we've got our A cover here. This is Maria Wolf. Very cool. We also have this one, which I love seeing like who these characters are kind of
Yeah, I saw Rom. There's Hellboy.
Yeah, there's like a Batman with Abraham Lincoln's hat.
Yeah.
And a steampunk Snow White and Steamboat Willie, and I don't know. I love stuff like that. There's a little Yoda guy, Hatsune Miku, and then we have a Maria Wolf cardstock variant as well.
And next we have Superman Unlimited number 3, and this one, Toyman is terrorizing Metropolis, and Superman and Krypto show up to stop him. We saw Toyman briefly at the end of issue number 2, but how will Superman and Krypto fare when they learn that Toyman's terrible toys have been enhanced with kryptonite? And Superman discovers a new use for kryptonite that has the capacity to save the world, although I don't know how he'll utilize that because it hurts him, you know. And it says that Jimmy Olsen moves to Gotham to work in the Gotham branch of the Daily Planet. T. Na of Gorilla City tries to fix Steve Lombard's laptop, and Intergang floods the streets. So that should be really cool too. Plus, you know, Intergang probably a lot more dangerous now that everybody has kryptonite weapons too. So I love the first issue. I love the second issue. I can't wait to see Krypto in there doing some stuff.
I love this cover. It reminds me of like the Fleischer robots who would fight in the old cartoon and stuff. I'm really enjoying this series, so same. I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, I just now saw down here, and a very good boy. I just now noticed that. Very excited for this one. So this is our A cover. We have a Lionel Francis Yu variant, a Tony Daniel variant, Ryan Benjamin variant, a Frank Cho Gotham City Sirens variant, Christian Ward variant, and a Robin Zombie Higginbottom variant.
Yep. I think his name is Zombie. Like the artist.
Robin name. Zombie Higginbottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
it's not a zombie Superman.
I looked up expecting to see a zombified Robin.
Oh no.
Okay, cool.
Well, next up, speaking of the good boy Krypto, this is Krypto the Last Dog of Krypton number 2 of 5. So now that we know Krypto, upon arriving on Earth, is found by a little Lex Luthor. Kind of horrifying, especially because he has like a bear trap on the cover. It says Krypto just wants to be loved, but that might be something Lex Luthor is incapable of giving. We talked about this before with the first one of like, Superman and Lex are not that different in age.
Right.
So I wonder if Superman has already arrived on Earth.
Yeah, because, you know, in the first issue, we saw Krypto go through a wormhole, basically, and that's how he wound up on Earth. But we don't know, you know, time displacement and all that kind of stuff. So it would just because he left before Kal-El, but when he went to that wormhole, doesn't mean he arrived before Kal-El.
Yeah.
You know, who knows how time and wormholes work. But yeah, so maybe Kal-El's already there, or Clark, you know, maybe he's a little bit younger, and then they reunite later. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, like I said before, the first reintroduction of Clark and Krypto.
They have to do that in this series.
Yeah,
they have to.
So it says Krypto may be the first person to suffer at the hands of Lex. I sure hope not, or if he does, I hope, you know, Krypto bites his hand off. But really fun. I love the first issue. Can't wait to check this one out. This is your A cover, and there's a De La Torre variant as well.
Next up is Absolute Batman number 10. I'm so excited for this because number 9 was so cool. Batman is trapped in Arkham while Wayland endures unimaginable tortures. And today we saw the cover for Absolute Batman number 12, and it's what you're thinking. And what awaits Batman is far more terrifying than anything he has faced. The true form of Bane. And if you read number 9, you saw the true form of Bane at the tail end of that issue. And it's how I love this. It's how Bane plans to break Batman that will have you bending over backwards. Nice little play on words there. So no clue what that means. We'll find out. This is our A cover. We have a Gabriel Delato variant and a Gilliam March variant. Oh, he's throwing the ear. I just noticed that. Yeah.
Well, next up, speaking of Absolute, we've got Absolute Flash issue at number 5. And it's really interesting because it doesn't tell us a whole lot of stuff we don't already know. We just know that Wally is still on the run for the Rogues and his dad. And we saw at the end of the issue that came out this week that he ran into the Absolute version of Heatwave, which is just a big magma monster. But also, if you read that one, you may have seen some of the little name drops of characters that might have also escaped when he got his powers. So,
one that I'm very excited for, too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in this, as we are slowly introduced to even more characters from the classic Flash Rogues Gallery. So, we've got our A cover right here. We have a Haining variant and a Malavia variant.
And next up, we have Batman Superman World's Finest number 41. And this is the start of a new story arc. Batman and Superman wake up on Bizarro World with no idea how they got there or why they're being hunted by one of the most dangerous beings in the universe. But I'm not really sure who that's referring to, if they're referring to Bizarro or somebody. Oh, actually,
We see
we
somebody
do see
on the cover of
like 43, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we do know now. Can they find their way home in time to save their friends from danger? And maybe that danger is Bizarro. Maybe Bizarro. Maybe they swap places. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to call this out because 40 issues in, this book is still so much fun, and this is the start of a new story arc. So this is our A cover. We have a Michael Cho variant. I love that one. We have Adrian Gutierrez variant. So that's your interior artist, and then a Kevin Maguire Superman movie variant.
Well, next up, One World Under Doom. They warned us there was going to be a 2-month break.
Yes.
So we are coming in on issue number 6 here, and I love this cover, and it does kind of play along with what it says. Reed Richards reveals a terrible secret he's acquired about Doom's global domination, which we saw Maria Hill in the last one. So everybody's coming out with their secrets. And what is Doom hiding under the Lutvarian dome? That also, I don't know. Have we even seen the Lutvarian dome?
I mean, maybe like in the first issue or something, but
all is revealed at a terrible cost. So I can't wait to see what happens. It does seem like this issue is maybe the turning point. We saw a little bit at the end of the last issue, and this is where it's like, oh, here's actually what Doom's up to. So very cool. This is your A cover. We have the Doomasaur variant, who has not really played a huge role in this.
Nobody has been in it, though, so this is pretty fun.
We have a Marco Cicchetto foil variant, and a Pablo Villalobos variant. Next up, we got more Essential Comics, very important ones you got to know about.
Yep. Starting with Fantastic Four presents Franklin Richards, Son of a Genius. Now, this is written by Chris Eliopoulos and Max Sumeric, and this is drawn by Chris Eliopoulos. Now, this is a reprint of a book that came out in 2005, and that book was a collection of 4 stories featuring Franklin Richards that were originally in Power Pack. So this is a reprint of a collection from 20 years ago, and it just says, Franklin and Herbie gear up for the wildest tale in Marvel history. So I guess, with the movie coming out, Marvel realized, hey, we had a really fun Franklin Richards story 20 years ago. Let's blow the dust off of that and send it out again. So not new, but 20 years old, so there's a good chance, maybe you haven't read it, and if you haven't, you can check it out now, and this is our only cover.
Next up, we want to talk about G.I. Joe number 9. Just jonesing off of the exciting retailer call we had with Robert Kirkman and talking about the entire Energon universe. We know some really awesome secrets about some of the stuff coming up. So if you still are not reading the Energon universe, get caught up because it is fantastic. But this issue number 8 that we got this week was super cool as Baroness and CoverGirl kind of go out so Baroness can get some fresh air. But of course, it's going to turn real bad. And in this one, it says Baroness and CoverGirl are fighting for their lives. Meanwhile, Clutch and Hound investigate Cobra's Energon weapons, which I always love when they're starting to look into the Energon weapons.
Yeah. And I love Clutch and Hound together, too. It's just great.
So a lot of really awesome stuff coming up for the Energon universe. You don't want to miss out on it. I'm sure they're going to be announcing stuff within the next few weeks. So don't miss out. And I just have there is a variant for this. It was not ready yet, so just the one cover.
And next is Wonder Woman number 23. This is the start of the next big story arc. Number 22 came out this week, and it was kind of sort of a prelude to this big story arc that starts right here. Emily, who is the rogue Amazon that we saw way back in issue number 1, who kind of caused all the trouble between the U.S. and the Amazons in the first place. We haven't really seen her since then. Well, she has fled to a mysterious island that's overrun by mice and a tyrant, and we saw a little bit of that at the end of issue number 19, kind of teasing the next big story arc. Can Wonder Woman save her fallen sister and baby before they fall into the wrong hands? And baby Lizzie, baby Trinity, is going to be tagging along on this mission, on this adventure as well. So this is our A cover. We have a really cool David Nakayama cover, an Omer cover, and an Adam Hughes Gotham City Sirens variant. They stole her lasso.
Next up, speaking of Gotham City Sirens, we have Gotham City Sirens Unfit for Orbit, number 3 of 5. Because this is weekly, we're talking about it on every show. But just like the last series, they don't give any updated information per issue, I guess, because it all comes out so fast
Yeah.
that they don't want to spoil stuff or whatever. So, no new information about this other than what we already know with Despero and this space themed club in Gotham and all of that. So, I can't wait to finally check this out when it comes out. But I just wanted to let you know that issue number 3 of it is coming out, and it's a 5-issue miniseries. So, make sure you get in early on this. We got our A cover right here by Terry Dodson. We have a Nubovich variant, very piratey, and a Gillum March connecting variant with Despero.
Next up is Lovestruck number 1. This is going to be a 4-issue miniseries. This is written by MC Foley and Don Hanfield, and the art is by Alonzo Molina. And this says that when a jaded private investigator named Triss accidentally kills Cupid during a botched wedding proposal, she's forced to team up with his ghost to help people fall in love, or else she is going to face jail time for manslaughter. But what's funny is when I read the solicitation, I thought it meant she's forced to team up with him to help people fall in love or to face time in jail. Right, those are the two choices. I didn't quite understand at first. But it says that this takes readers on a journey through the streets of Los Angeles as Triss and Cupid help others find love while confronting their own beliefs about relationships. So, seems like maybe this should have come out in February, but yeah, should still be fun. This 4-issue miniseries, this is our A cover by Alonzo Molina. That's your interior artist. And also a B cover as well. That's your interior artist.
Well, next up we have a new Power Rangers miniseries. I think it's a miniseries. It just says number 1, so I'm not quite sure. But this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. This is kind of a based on the game Rita's Rewind by Zoe Tunnel and the arts by Tango. And in this, Rita has teamed up with herself, Robo Rita from 30 years in the future, to bring down the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers before they get started. But there are the Power Rangers from the future. Rocky, Cat, Billy, Zach, Min will travel back to stop her. So yeah, if you've played the video game, you like it, definitely check out this. I'm not sure if this is a miniseries or just a one-shot since it's tied in with the game, but it's gonna be really fun. Let's see, it's $7.99, so it makes me think it might just be a one-shot,
maybe
like an oversized one-shot, but we'll have to see. This is your A cover by your interior artist. There is a Gregson variant, a full art foil game art variant, which is very cool looking, and the unlockable variant, the full art version of the other cover.
Next up is Godzilla vs. America Boston. And this one features work from Jesse Lonergan and Steve Orlando with art by Matt Emmons and Jesse Lonergan. And just like the other ones, this features 4 stories of Godzilla trampling various city around America, this one being Boston. Don't really know what those stories are yet, but this is the next stop in the Godzilla tour of destruction. This is our A cover, and then we have a B cover, and that's your interior artist right there, or one of them anyway.
Very cool. Next up, we have Monster High World Scare. And I know you're like, dude, why are you talking about Monster High? This is a very popular series. We get people coming all the time asking for Monster High. So check it out if you think it looks fun.
I've never read any of it.
Yeah, so this series by Jackie A. and Caroline Shuda. And this year's World Scare, like World's Fair, is in New Salem. And the brightest minds are gathering to exhibit their latest breakthroughs that could change monster kind forever. And Monster High's own Frankie Stein is dreaming up something mysterious to honor her late father, Headmaster Frankenstein. With the help of her friends, Frankie is sure to shock the judges. So, just sounds really fun, and I know Monster High is very popular, so definitely check it out if you are a fan. We've got our A cover here by Betsy Cola, who we usually see on Marvel books and everything. And there is a Sterl variant cover.
Next is Fantastic Four Fanfare number 3. And just like all the other ones, this features 3 different quick little one and done stories. I'm looking forward to this one though, because it seems that these stories focus on Ben Grimm. We get a story from Dan Slott and Marcos Martin that tells the story of how Ben Grimm escaped Yancey Street. We get a story from Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends. That was like a power duo in the 90s. The Thing and Sandman are reunited, but is it as friends or foes? Which is really cool because Sandman, people always associate Sandman with Spider-Man, but he started out as after first appearing in Spider-Man, he was a Fantastic Four villain for the longest time. And then we get a Chip Zdarsky and Michael Allred story that says Johnny Storm has proclaimed himself to be the most attractive being in the universe. What could go wrong? So, yeah, these have been really fun. I've enjoyed the first 2 issues and looking forward to this one, especially with those creative teams. This is our A cover, and there's a Nicoletta Baldari 4-part connecting variant. So I think we had those on the other 2 parts, I guess. Yep.
Next up, we've got Emma Frost, White Queen number 2. Number 1 came out this week. It was awesome. Very fun, very classic X-Men with some of the most classic looking Wolverine brown suit and Colossus and Nightcrawler. But this one continues because after basically the X-Men and another mutant crashed the Hellfire Club's main place, Emma Frost is convinced there is a traitor in their midst, and the inner circle of the Hellfire Club convenes an emergency meeting in London, and the evidence is pointing towards Emma Frost, which we know it wasn't her who did it because she was just as surprised as everyone, but now she must prove her innocence or suffer the wrath of some of the most ruthless mutants around. But the list of suspects is long and the clock is ticking. So I love the first issue. Very, very fun. I love the Marvel Retro series.
Mm-hmm.
So check out issue number 2 if you enjoyed number 1. This is your David Nakayama A cover. We also have this Jenny Frison variant. And we have a Jessica Fong cover as well. They always like show like frost powers, and so it's like that's not really what she does.
She shouldn't do that.
She's not Elsa.
Next up is Spider-Verse versus Venomverse number 3. And in this one, 2 new champions are added to the roster, and we know right here on the cover, one of them is the Japanese Spider-Man in a really cool new costume. Don't know why he has that, but it looks great. Mm-hmm. And will they add to the slaughter that has now been unleashed among the competitors, or will they betray their own team to avoid the conflict? If you've been reading this, you know that at least one of the characters on one of the teams is kind of betraying their team because they want to find a more amicable way to get out of this mess. So we have our A cover right here, and there's an In-Hyuk Lee variant also. That looks like a statue. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I think that's what they were going for.
Next up, we have Star Wars Dr. Aphra, Chaos Agent number 2. Number 1 came out this week. It's great to get Aphra back in the main Star Wars universe going forward. And after the New Republic offered Aphra a job in stealing artifacts away from dangerous people, we see in this one, Aphra and Luke are together on a distant planet, and they are tracking down a valuable artifact you learned about in the first issue. But will Aphra betray the New Republic to get the prize for herself? That's the thing about Aphra, you never know. So if you enjoyed number 1, check out number 2. And if you haven't checked out number 1 yet, it's on the shelves or infinityflux.net, so go ahead and grab it. We've got our A cover here. We have an Annie Wu variant and a Marguerite Sauvage variant.
And next is Gwenpool number 3. And it's hard to talk about this without spoiling something big that happens in number 2 that came out this week. I will say that Peter Parker finds himself trapped in the past. And I don't think that means literally. I think that means like memories and things like that. Yeah. Because, supposedly that's the original Gwen Stacy that's come back. So he's trapped in the past. And while Kate Bishop faces a dark future, but I don't mean that to sound quite like it means, but I can't spoil anything else. And the new Gwenpool's world takes a dark turn towards vengeance. And I just can't help but wonder, she needs to go after Norman Osborn, right? If that really is Gwen Stacy, the fact that, she needs to make a beeline for Norman Osborn. There needs to be a story where she finds out that Norman and Peter are actually allies now, and she needs to get really mad about that because I don't like it either. So that seems like that makes the most sense.
Everyone throws everybody off a bridge.
That's right. Yeah. So
that's the only way to settle this.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But this is our A cover. Contest. Oh, right. and then she cuts the cord. Yeah. Yep. And then there's a Karen Darbo variant.
That one's very cool. I like her, the shadow on her eyes. Yeah. And everything on that. Okay, so here's a really interesting one. This is Gargoyles Demona #1. We talked about this weeks and weeks ago, and I'm not going to really go over all the details of what this series is. It's kind of set in the past with Demona and everything during kind of the Dark Ages. What I want to talk about, this is a Dynamite book. And if some people keep up with comic insider news, some people don't. But Dynamite, which was distributed through Diamond primarily, there had been a lot of delays. Books, we'd see them over and over up for order and everything because Diamond had filed for bankruptcy and it was a mess.
Hmm.
Well, now as of yesterday, today, Dynamite is now being distributed through Lunar, which is where we get all our DC books. So I wanted to point this out because if you were getting Dynamite books, we always people coming in being like, "When is this coming out? When is this coming out?" And we didn't know when they would show up. I believe now that Dynamite books are going to be way more reliable. We can talk about them with more confidence on the show that they will arrive when, they're not going to go from week to week talking about them every week, wondering when this is going to come out. So this is great news if you're a
Yeah.
Dynamite fan because you can expect your books on time along with all how DC books are on time. So I think this is awesome, and we'll be talking about more Dynamite books as we go on because this is a great news.
Yeah, we get our DC, our Image, Mad Cave, Vault, all that stuff from Lunar, and almost never have any problems getting that stuff in on a regular, timely basis. And now Dynamite will be part of that group as well. So yeah, this is good news for Dynamite fans. Yeah, much more reliable now.
Yes. So, just to show this off, you may have already ordered this weeks ago. If you are unsure, definitely go in and check and make sure this has been ordered since it is changing from distributors. I'll do my best when I order it to make sure that I get everyone who has ordered it before. But just to make sure, go in and double check. So you've got your A cover right here. You have a Jay Lee variant, a Frank Parr variant, and a Mark Spears variant. And of course, this is Dynamite, so there is a billion other covers.
Yeah.
That is not changing. So check those out now at infinityflux.net.
And then we have Red Sonja Noir. We talked about this one before, but again, because it changed distributors, we wanted to refresh your memory about this. This is a one shot. This is about Red Sonja's mercenary partner is murdered, and that draws her into a feverish hunt for a priceless artifact known as the Crimson Calypso. She wants revenge, but first she's got to slice her way through a web of deception and violence, waging a war of both weapons and wits against a pitiless and implacable foe. So again, we talked about this a while back. You may have ordered this before, but again, if you'll just double check, and Andy will double check to see, try to match up everybody's orders. But yeah, again, much more reliable now. So order with confidence this time if you want this. So this is our A cover. We have a Joseph Michael Linsner cover, and there's a cosplay variant.
Yeah, and what is great about this too, if there is books like, I know Space Ghost is getting a new #1.
Yep.
There's a lot of big books. We have been able to talk about them on our Monday show because they don't show up.
That's right.
We'll be able to talk about more Dynamite related books.
I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we never talk about Dynamite because, yeah, they don't get here.
They're not here.
Yeah.
Usually
but now they will.
Yeah, usually they're a week late or, we're trying to track them down. So this is great news for our Monday shows too.
Yep.
As when new stuff comes out, you'll hear about it here.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got continuing stories, starting with Benjamin, issue #2. Issue #1 came out this week. It was really, really cool as this sci-fi writer wakes up and realizes that he should have been dead 40... He remembers dying 40 years ago, and now some of the technology in the world reminds him of stuff he wrote about. What is all of this going on? What's it about? Well, in this one, it does look like in his effort to unravel this mystery, he learns of a cabal of scientists eager to revive the minds of some of history's greatest thinkers. That's not good for him because he's already very egocentric.
Mm-hmm.
So if he thinks that he's that important, it's not going to be good. But issue #1 of this was awesome, especially if you're a fan of like old Philip K. Dick, that kind of writer. This very much gives that impression. So I thought #1 was really, really fun. This is the cover for number 2 by Christian Ward. And there is a Malachi Ward variant as well, which also looks like an old kind of pocket sci-fi book.
Yeah. Next is Blood and Thunder number 3. Number 2 came out this week. I really enjoyed it. In this one, it just says that a very motivated Blood and a very reluctant Thunder take on a very angry prisoner from Cell Block X. I don't think it has a name yet. It's just like the weird, the weird tentacle monster thing that escaped from prison. In issue number 2, we saw Blood and Thunder head out to go face it, but we didn't actually see that confrontation. So that's what this issue is going to be about here. This is our A cover, and we have a David Lopez variant.
Next up, we have New Gods, issue number 8. We're kind of in our second half of this 12-issue series, and the New Gods are now on Earth, and the Justice League is split on if they want to allow them to stay there or not. We saw that in this previous issue, but some refugees from Apocalypse are about to arrive as well, and that's not gonna be good. So, incredible series, continues to be one of my favorite books coming out.
Beautiful,
weird, interesting, all of the above. So don't miss out. This is your A cover. There's a Javier Rodriguez. That's your artist for Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
And a Tom Fowler cover, which is very cool with all the New Gods. And that wily Metron, what's he up to?
Yeah, what's he got going on? And the next we have Zatanna number 6. This is the final issue of this miniseries, which breaks my heart to say because I have loved this. Zatanna returns to the Crimson Palace nightclub for a final performance to save Adam and Blue Devil. But first she's going to have to go up against the Lady White, who's been kind of the main antagonist, but also the Lady White's secret ally, who I guess that was her that we saw in the 5th issue.
Or is it Mr. Dark or whatever his name is?
Oh, maybe.
There's that guy too. There's a lot of really weird ethereal characters floating.
Yeah, I definitely want to read this collected. Like when it's all said and done, I want to grab that. But her secret ally, who has been seeking revenge against Zatanna and her family since the very beginning. So I'm so sad to see this end. This is the most beautiful book on the stands, hands down, no questions asked. It's been such a great story too. I want more. So everybody order this so that DC will say, hey, everybody likes Zatanna. Let's do another one. So this is our A cover by Jamal Campbell. There's a Frank Cho variant, and there is an Omer variant. I like that.
Yeah. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 8. This is our next part in the Hellgate story. So this is drawn by John Romita Jr. And we don't know a whole lot about what's going on in this. We just know that Hellgate is kind of maybe a new player in the crime organization of New York. And we saw him show up in the end of this last issue. And this one just says Spider-Man takes the beating of his life against Hellgate. Is there anything anybody can do about it?
Hellgate doesn't seem like a crime guy. He seems like he should be fighting a knight or something like that.
Or like a Wonder Woman, like,
yeah,
you know, kind of reminds me of Ares,
right,
that kind of thing. So we'll have to see how it is. Spider-Man's got his own axe here, but you know, we got news about some of the future stuff coming in Amazing Spider-Man this week, and so I'm now just really interested to see how do we get there.
Yeah.
This is going to be real weird.
There is nobody better than John Romita Jr. at drawing Spider-Man's face looking like it's just like open and just blood is just like gushing out everywhere.
Just swollen.
Yeah.
So for something saying he takes a beating of his life, I see why they got Romita Jr. to do that. This is your A cover. There is a Dan Panosian Retrovision variant, which I'm not sure why this one is a Retrovision, but I do really like this. Mm-hmm. There's a Delato variant, and there is a Jeff Dacol Black Cat variant, which we know we are getting a Black Cat series coming up.
That's right.
And she plays kind of a big role in this story arc. Mm-hmm.
And next is Runaways number 2, and in this one, Chase Stein is back, and he's more dangerous than ever. But what happened in the future that got him so suspicious of Gert? And how long can the Runaways keep running away from the will of Doom? They're trying to protect their Doombot from the other Doombots that have come down and said, hey, time to go back home. So, more fun to come there. This is our A cover. We have a Yasmin Putri variant and a Paco Medina variant.
That looks kind of like what Red Hulk was up against.
Yep.
Next up, we have Jeff, the Landshark, number 2. Number 1 came out this week, and you saw this mysterious character in that one as it says beware Shadow Jeff. And I'll let you read the first issue to see how all that comes about. But looks very, very creepy for Jeff coming up. This is your A cover for that. There's a NetEase Marvel Rivals variant with his cute little costume. There's a Paco Medina. Oh, she got to read that before we did.
Oh, bummer.
There's a Toki Tokoro variant. That is your interior. But this looks like a I think that's actually Ryan Gonzalez, because then this one is the Toki Tokoro variant. So I think that's a Ryan Gonzalez.
Yeah, I can't make out the signature there.
And then I think that's your interior artist with all the shadow GIFs around. Next up, we've got cover gallery. Some just really cool covers we wanted you to see.
This is Batman and Robin Year 1, number 9. This is the Frank Quitely variant, which is really cool.
Next up, we have DC X Sonic the Hedgehog, number 5. This is the Lucas Meyer variant.
We have Detective Comics number 1099, one issue away from the big 1100. This is the Gilliam March cover. We have a Chris Stevens cover and a Jay Lee Gotham City Sirens cover.
Next up, we have Green Lantern 25, cover F, the Steven Subic glow-in-the-dark foil variant. So this is one of those where you order early.
Oh, right.
Because this issue doesn't come out for another few weeks. But if you want the special one, they have to get their print orders in. And I think this is the start of that big crossover story, isn't it, between Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is Nightwing number 128. This is the Marcio Takara Gotham City Sirens variant.
I just want to show Witchblade has a really cool art germ cover.
Wow.
So we haven't seen Witchblade in a little while. Don't miss out on that one.
And we have Iron Man number 10, which is the last issue of this series. This is the Alan Villanueva Marvel Television variant. We have a Annie Wu Retrovision variant and a Jim Mahfood variant also.
Next up, we got the Psylocke number 9 Benjamin Sue Retrovisions variant.
We have Storm number 10. This is the Betsy Cola Retrovision variant.
This is Uncanny X-Men number 18, the Greg Land Rogue variant.
And this is Wolverine number 11, the Leo Romero Retrovision variant.
And like we said, there's more Dynamite on this. So if you've been waiting for Herculoids, feels like this has been postponed quite a bit. Now you'll be getting on a regular basis. This is the Linsner variant. And there's also a really cool Kyle Hotz variant.
And this is Red Sonja Attacks Mars, the 4th issue of that 4-issue series. And this is the Jay Lee Polybag with the trading card variant.
And we also have Vampirella number 3. This has been pushed back and pushed back also. This is the Mark Spears Moon original FOC bonus variant.
Yeah, hopefully some of these delays will work themselves out now that we're there with Lunar as well. So hopefully everything with Dynamite will start to solidify.
Yep. And next up we got Bookshelf, some cool collected editions of things. Starting with Star Wars Dr. Aphra, Friends and Enemies Omnibus. I think this will be the last Dr. Aphra Omnibus, at least until this new series gets enough issues. But this catches us up to where her series ended off. This has the 2020 series, issue 26 through 40. And this also has the Santa Staros miniseries 1 through 5, plus material from Star Wars Revelations, the 2023 issue, number 1. So you got quite a bit in here to round off this era of Dr. Aphra. So this is our regular cover for that, or this is the direct market cover for that, and then we have the regular cover for that as well.
And then we have Spider-Man Deadpool, the Modern Era Epic Collection. This is called Road Trip. This is going to be $49.99, and this collects issues 33 through 50. Is that the end of the series?
I think it is.
I think maybe it is. I'm not 100% sure. There have been 2 other ones of these that have led us up to this point. $49.99.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that Aphra Omnibus is only $75. So it's one of the omnibuses on a cheaper side.
Yeah.
Next up, I can't believe we're already talking about the Ultimate Wolverine Volume 1 Collected Edition that collects issues 1 through 6. Because it feels like we were waiting for this to release for so long.
Yeah,
Of like, oh, we're getting an Ultimate Wolverine.
Yeah, number 6 came out last week, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah,
it's just, man, it's time flies
Yep.
in the Ultimate Universe. So yeah, this collects issues 1 through 6 of the series, which is still a mini series. Is it 12 issues?
12 issues, I believe.
So there'll be like a 2-volume set.
Yeah.
But don't miss out on that. It is going to be $19.99.
And then we have Tron Download. So this is going to be $19.99, and this is going to collect the 2-issue Tron original movie adaptation from way back when, and then Tron Betrayal numbers 1 and 2, which was a story that sort of bridged the gap between the original Tron and Tron Legacy from back in 2010. So just getting you ready for the new Tron movie. What's it called? Tron. I don't remember the name of it. Tron Jared Leto.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
But yeah, so some good Tron goodness here. Yeah.
Tron 3, Lost in New York. Next up, we have our next of the compact comics. This is Batman Arkham Asylum. And this is going to be really cool. Of course, like all of them, this is $9.99, collecting the Grant Morrison and Dave McKean. Very weird, trippy Batman going into the depths of Arkham story that is equal parts trippy and kind of airing on a little bit of a prose book.
Yeah, this one went a little over my head.
Yeah, this is a little bit. This is weird, but it makes sense for Arkham.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can get it here in the DC Compact size for only $10. Plus, it's got some sketches and bonus stuff in it as well.
And then this is really cool. So this is DC Finest Batman Red Sky. So this is going to be $39.99, and this collects all the issues of Batman and Detective Comics that lead right up to the original Crisis on Infinite Earths. That is Batman number 388 through 400, Annual number 10, Detective Comics 554 through 567, and Secret Origins number 6. And like a lot of the Crisis on Infinite Earths tie-ins, it doesn't really tie in all that much. It's still telling its own story, but in a lot of them, the characters are doing whatever they were doing, but then they also say, "Oh, weird, the skies are red. I wonder what's going on." So that's about as much as they tie into Crisis. I read some of these issues just recently, actually, and there's still a whole separate Batman story, but the outside looks like that: red skies, rain, and lightning, and all that kind of thing. So very excited. I don't know that these have ever been collected before, or they have. At least it's been a long time
like
this. So very excited for this.
And next up, Scooby Apocalypse Omnibus. If you are recent to comics, you may see this and be like, "What is this?" DC did this quite a few years ago, where they did a lot of the Hanna-Barbera books, Wacky Races, and all that. But a standout was Scooby Apocalypse. Like this collects all 36 issues. So this ran for 36 issues. It is crazy. It's by Keith Giffen, J.M. Dave Matthias, various artists. Like the cover here is by Jim Lee.
Well, Jim Lee did the interiors for the first few issues.
Yeah. You also had Howard Porter on there.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy as the Scooby Gang it finds themselves in the apocalypse as real monsters start attacking, and it becomes this crazy story. But really, really fun, really cool. Characters die. Scrappy Doo's there, unfortunately, but it's nuts.
It's cool because Scooby doesn't talk, but he does wear that contraption that, like, he emits these little bubbles with like emojis in them that kind of like can sort of get across what he's trying to say.
Yeah, this is crazy in the best way.
Yeah.
So you can get the whole thing here for $125, and you won't be disappointed. Next up, we have new printings of some really cool books, starting with...
This is the Batman number 655, the facsimile edition. This is your first appearance of Damian Wayne. So this is our A cover. There is a Jason Geyer and Alex Saviuk superpowers variant. I love these superpowers variants. And then there's a blank variant as well.
Great era in Batman. Great Morrison.
Great looking era.
Yeah, this was all really, really good. Hopefully they do more of this time frame reprinting it so people can check it out.
They probably will.
We also have Death of Silver Surfer number 1. This is the Ron Lim second printing cover. But if you missed out on this was an awesome book.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think we sold out of it pretty fast, so we'll be getting some more of these in. So if you didn't check out Death of Silver Surfer, definitely do.
And this is X-Men number 137, the facsimile edition. They've been going through all these, right?
Yeah.
This is just the next one. And there's going to be the regular and the foil cover. Is there a blank variant also?
Probably. Yeah. But, I mean, it's funny they've been reprinting these, but all of them are very classic covers.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, oh, yeah, that was a very big time for
I do kind of wish I'd been buying these in foil, because I love having classic covers, but foil,
yeah.
I just think it's cool.
And it's one of the best.
That's one of the best ones, yeah.
And we've got another one of our DC X Sonic the Hedgehog. This is number 1, 4th printing. And they've been doing each of the cast, basically, in their costume. So here you go. Knuckles as Superman. And that is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can start placing your pre-orders. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 9 o'clock, so you don't miss out on any of the comic goodness. And there was a lot of good on this show. So let us know in the comments, what are you most excited about? We love to hear that. It gives us a better idea of what we should order up on and what to keep our eyes open for. Once again, really glad that we have some Dynamite stuff back on here, and we're going to be talking about that more as we go forward. And yeah, it is a great time to be a comics fan.
Indeed.
You got something important to say?
Next week's another big week of previews. You know, we got like, what do we have, like 20-something book? What do we say, 28 books to talk about next week?
Yeah, I am very excited for the new History of the DC Universe by Mark Waid. Definitely check this one out. I've already read this one, but if you're a big DC fan, you'll want to get this. It is really, really cool. Plus tons of other big books. Superman, Justice League,
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
That it's my favorite week of comics, because it's like the trifecta of Superman, Justice League, and Ultimate Spider-Man all together. It's my favorite. You know, comes around once a month, and this is it right here. So
stay tuned for that on a Monday. And again, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and until next time, see ya.